Hello and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. What is the Clint Initiative? The Clint Initiative is a multi-phase project to create entertainment here in Minnesota and to distribute that entertainment to the world, starting with this podcast. This podcast is the seed from which everything else will grow. The Clint Initiative is about great music. The Clint Initiative is about great live entertainment. The Clint Initiative is about a sketch show. The Clint Initiative is all about filmed content. If you want to know how to do a podcast, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to do an album, how to find musicians, how to get it recorded, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to create more content over a short period of time, you're listening to the Clint Initiative and we will help you get there. If you are ready to create, if you're ready to talk about creating, if you're ready to be about it and get it done, we want to talk to you. This is the Clint Initiative. My name is Paul and my co-hosts are Katie, Clint, and Jamel. We are the Clint Initiative. If you are interested in creating content, if you're interested in creating movies, music, television, films, short films, and feature films, then we want to talk to you. We want to have you on the show. Email us at TheClintPodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And now, back to the show.
We are always working to give you a little more. We are always working. Give you a little more. We are always working to give you a little more. We are always working to give you a little more. What are we doing? We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall to see us stick. Come on, what are we doing? Sarala alapet, estamos sarala alapet, sarala alapet, estamos sarala alapet, sarala alapet, estamos sarala alapet, a ver que se pega. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. Looks like we've got Jay here. How's your day going there, Jay?
Everything's going great. Blessed, highly favored, and just feeling good. How's your day going?
That is a good question. My day is still sort of coming together. As you can see, you and I are the only two here right now. Clint isn't feeling well, so he probably won't be here for the show. And Katie is running a little behind, so she will be here for the show today. But this is going to be a little bit of a different show than we normally do anyway. Can you guess why, Jamel?
I wonder, why is that, Paul?
Well, guess what? This is our close to 1 year anniversary show. We did our first taping of the show, the 20th of July of 2023. Do you remember that show, Jamel?
I remember that all too well.
Yeah, and that's when I knew that the show would work. And the amazing thing about it is that we have Katie here, and now she's gone. Okay, the amazing thing about it is that we are now broadcasting on Facebook as well as Instagram and YouTube. And soon we will be broadcasting on Roku and Fire TV.
Yeah, buddy.
And in addition to all of those great things, Katie's here. Hello, Katie.
Hi.
Hopefully things are going well for you.
Yes, it is. Just getting my things together. So I'm here.
Well, I wanted to go ahead and it looks like, I wanted to go ahead and clue you in that this is sort of our close to 1 year anniversary of when we first started recording the Clint Initiative podcast, our very first recording that we did was the 20th of July, 2023.
Which will be Sabado.
Be
Ooh.
what?
Sabado. Saturday.
Uh, okay, so and as I was saying again, and I'm just going to say just because I want to say it, we're now broadcasting on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, but coming soon, we will be broadcasting on Roku and Fire TV. And none of that is possible without the people who are listening to us, and our numbers are growing in terms of people who are subscribing and people are watching. And things are moving in the right direction. None of this happens without you. So subscribe, like, comment, and share. Help us grow. So now back to the show. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the most important thing we do every week. In addition to just having fun doing the show, I like to check in with the co-host. I like to have them take center stage and talk about the things that matter to them. And I'm going to start with you first, Katie, because it's ladies first. How is your day going?
It's going good, very productive. Got a good schedule going, so everything's good. I'm blessed as always.
Perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to you, Jamel.
Back
How
to
are
me.
things going for you today?
Everything's great, blessed, highly favored. Always start the day off productive. Keep your mindset in a positive direction as well. That helps your day go a lot easier. And just always think, you think you can, you know you can.
Awesome. And what I want to talk about is the show. And for me, that's my number one priority above anything else. I do this full time because I really want to make it work. And every time I look at our journey from where we started, Jamel, at Minnehaha Recording Studios on the 20th of July, 2023, that little cramped space.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
And when I think about the fact that on the 1st of August, we'll have our own space.
There was, I remember all too well, there was lots of middle fingers that day going back and forth.
But, looking back at those shows, which I rebroadcast on the 4th of July, I saw that when we're live, there's a chemistry that you can't recreate through what we do virtually here. Although this is convenient, and it really helps with us doing the show weekly for our filming and other things we're doing. It's going to really help for us to be in our own space. And compared to the Minnehaha Recording Studios, we're going to have a lot of space for moving around. And I can't wait to do a walk through the space. But I wanted to, we're going to do our Bible bracket in a little bit, but there are some bracket jumpers. And these are projects and things that I've worked on in the past where I already have materials. And there are two that I want to talk about as we start the show. The first one is Dateline, a stage reading. That's a play I wrote with two other playwrights quite a while back when I was living in Washington, D.C. It's all about online dating.
Oh, my
God. Have you ever heard of 976 Date? Back before all the streaming apps.
Yeah, that's when you pick up the phone and you try to give out your information of what you are and what you like, and so that you could try to match yourself up with someone, and you're listening to their voice on the other side. That whole thing. Yeah. Press 9 if you want to talk to this person.
Yes. For men, there was a cost involved, but for women, it was free.
It was free.
So,
yeah.
976 is all about dating before the apps. And I wrote this play with two co-writes who were happily married. I was single at the time, and I was actually using 976 date because I had just moved back to Washington, D.C., didn't know anybody. Most of the people I went to high school with, I went to a school for the performing arts. Most of those people, they were already out doing their thing. So I went on 976 date, and that play, Dateline, is all about 976 date adventures. And it was great to write it. It was great to stage it, and it was great at that stage reading to get the feedback from the audience that I incorporated into the new version of the play that we will do as a staged reading.
Yeah, they were promoting that phone Dateline service so, I want to say, vigilant, that it was on TV, it was on radio. I mean, you literally, it was just there. It was right there. You're hearing live conversations. It's like, okay, so this is how it works, huh? And if you don't want to talk to that person anymore, like, you can press this button, and then it will go away. And it's like,
So it was like a tender, but on the phone
correct.
of the audience.
It was
That's great.
a phone blind date, pretty much.
Yep. It was awesome. It was a great way to sort of meet people and break through the, sort of some of the social awkwardness that can happen.
Yeah.
Now, our next bracket jumper. Go ahead, Jamel. What was that?
I said, I'm sure there was a lot of social awkwardness in that.
Actually, it was a lot of fun. I have zero complaints.
But see, I also heard that there were guys pretending to be women to get on the thing for free, doing all that jazz too. Oh yeah, my friends told me everything.
Well, guess what? That wasn't my experience, but maybe that can be Dateline Part 2. We can talk about that. So Katie, what are your thoughts on our latest bracket jumper, Dateline?
It could be interesting. I can also see like there's a lot playing with, especially with that topic. I have experience with online dating, so I think it would be something fun. We could get something good out of it for sure. A lot of entertainment.
Absolutely. It was very entertaining, and I'm packaging the previous stage reading right now so that people will be able to watch it in parts. And then we'll do another stage reading in a local Minneapolis community so that we can update it for, based on the suggestions I got from the first stage reading.
Yeah.
Now, our next bracket jumper is Dragonfly Nation, my story to tell. Yeah. When I got out of the military, one of the first things I did was I worked as a music producer. Now, when you work as a music producer, one of the things that happens is you work with bands a lot. I don't know if you, Jamel, or you, Katie, have ever worked with bands.
I've been in a band.
Right. Well, I write songs.
Not this one time at band camp, though.
But I worked with a band, and I worked with, as a songwriter, I worked with another songwriter, and together we formed the band Dragonfly Nation. And we put in the time, the effort, the energy to record an album. We did 2 live shows with another band called Bittersweet Manics. This was in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And as I listen to the music all the time, even now. And as one of the producers, although I can't release the music commercially, I can show off what we were able to accomplish, and I can recreate Dragonfly Nation and build a new Dragonfly Nation. But in the meantime, even the music on this graphic that I show is from those recording sessions. So another bracket jumper that we will be adding to the mix is Dragonfly Nation. Oh, my story to tell, because I do have a story to tell.
A little bit more about me. I grew up a little bit in Virginia.
What was that? What was that, Jamel?
I grew up a little bit in Virginia.
Really?
Yeah.
What part?
Norfolk.
Norfolk, Virginia. Wow.
Yeah.
So
I lived there a while too.
And also Newport News.
Oh, I've been to Newport News, Virginia.
And guess where I was in Newport News?
Say again?
And I said I was in the projects in Newport News.
Well, I was on the military base in Newport News. So, I wanted to talk about those bracket jumpers because, I'm going to go ahead and add those to the mix. And those two things, I have all the pieces in place for me to be able to immediately package them so that we can use them on our Patreon and other places where, we sort of ask for people to support us. So that's my check-in. But I want to once again say to you, Clint, to Clint, who's not here, to you, Jamel, who is here, and to you, Katie, I just want to say happy anniversary. Especially as we prepare to move into our own space, as we prepare for that next step. What were you saying, Jamel?
I was just speaking in Spanish. I'm good.
Okay. So, moving on with the show, we come to another important part, which is our random questions. And I always throw a couple of random questions up there. So just like always, I'm going to throw another couple of random questions up there. And my first question, which I can answer, who do you look up to? Who inspires you? Who gives you that push to keep going on when things get rough and you just want to stop? And another thing is, what is one thing you would do if the opportunity was offered? If someone gave you a one-time opportunity to do something, what would you want that to be? If they just walked up to you and they said, "Hey, Katie, quit your driving around. I want you to come on and be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?" Yeah, that's it. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Drop everything. Come on. So, I'm going to go to you, Katie, first. Which question do you think you'd want to entertain today? Do you want to entertain who you look up to, who inspires you, who made you who you are? Or would you want to talk about the one opportunity that you would take if someone offered it to you?
Yeah, I'll do the first one there. I think the person that inspires me a lot is actually my mother, believe it or not. To me, my mother has no, how do I say this? There is no stop break for her. My mom is constantly on the go, always trying to do better, and she just is looking out for everyone always, except for herself. And she's just so successful in she's very well known for all of her like accomplishments and stuff, and she just always made sure we had everything we needed. So she is, I think, is truly like one of those underrated people that need to be noticed, and she still hasn't. So I feel like definitely if she was to hear me and she's watching me, she is my only inspiration right now.
So what you're saying is we need to get your mom on the show, right? That's what you're saying, right? Your mom needs to be on our show.
She's very, yeah, she's very educated woman, so maybe.
Okay, we'll discuss that and we'll definitely get her on the show one day. I'm already penciling it into the schedule in my mind, of course. So, Jamel, man, who do you look up to? Who inspires you? Who makes you want to just keep going on? Or what is the one thing that you would do if someone came up to you and offered you the opportunity, like we want you to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the new Blade, Jamel? You interested?
I'll have to read the contract first on that, but we'll my higher power inspires me to keep going. The one saying that always sticks with me, because as much as I've been out here in the world and as much as I have seen and experienced, the words "look within ye first" always resonates with me, because when you really look inside, deep inside you, and you have that mindset, that's what's going to keep driving you to move forward and always give thanks. I always have to give thanks because that's just who I am. My inspiration comes from everyone that's positive around me. As I was growing up, I really didn't have that positive father figure there. My mom was and still is a workhorse. Even though she's retired now, she's still a workhorse. And I wanted to be the one in our family that changes that, to be that first very successful sibling for her, to really show her how much appreciated I am of her, but also the man that I've become and continue to grow into.
Wow. That's inspirational, man. I got to tell you that until I learned to love myself and accept myself for who I was going nowhere, and I think that a lot of people forget that your greatest power lies within you, accepting who you are, warts and all, looking at your strengths and using every weakness as a strength, because that's what helps us move forward, is that never give up. So when I was able to love myself and embrace who I am, there were no obstacles for me in life. And just like today, we don't have all four co-hosts, every roadblock, everything that happens doesn't stop the show, because the show must go on.
Right.
All that matters is who you're going to be when you show up. And what matters even more than who you're going to be when you show up, what matters is that you show up.
As long as you show up.
And in my life, when it mattered, I haven't always showed up. I can actually admit that. I haven't always showed up. But
I can admit that too. Because I'm sure we've all been down that rabbit hole before, and the longer we stay in that rabbit hole, the harder it is to dig our way out, because that dirt keeps piling in that rabbit hole. But it's really, really up to us mentally to grab a hold of ourselves and just start climbing and just digging and pulling your way out of there and just keep soaring and just keep going.
Yeah.
It's
And get committed to showing up in your life when it matters.
committed and consistency.
But you got to get committed first to showing up on those moments that matter in your life. Because if you get consistent about showing up in those moments that matters in your life, you're definitely going to soar. You're going to fly. You're going to go places where you never thought you could ever go. And you're going to get those opportunities that other people could only imagine about.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to the next portion of our show. A spotlight moment here from Cycle 4 Films. And I want to put something on the screen that I'm sure Jamel can talk to. But after I looked at the information on this, it was very inspiring to me. So I wanted Jamel to sort of go ahead and talk us through what we're looking at there. What is that, Jamel?
What you see right there is pretty much history made. I can't say being made because it has been made now. You see, if anyone know who Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis is, they are two iconic producers in the music industry. On the right in the black right here, the black suit, that's Terry Lewis. On the left, that is Harry Spike Moss. Harry Spike Moss is a freedom fighter activist. And so from all the work that he has done and all the accolades and people that surrounded him that helped him succeed, they decided to change North Plymouth Ave now to Spike Moss Way. And there were so many other people there during this event that I was working actual private security for, armed security, that it amazed me. And it was people that I hadn't seen in 20 years that I reconnected with, which was amazing. So wow. Congratulations to Harry Spike Moss. And it was great to see everyone there and being so supportive. The mayors were there. You had the chief of Bloomington Police there. You had Minneapolis chief of police there. I mean, there was so many people there that was part of this event that it just, it felt great. It felt great to see. It felt great to be in a positive and peaceful environment, even though we were there just to make sure everyone was staying safe.
Wow. And just to throw something out there, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis actually produced Janet Jackson. So people don't know Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They certainly know Janet Jackson.
And guess what? Janet Jackson is from my hometown.
Let me guess. Gary, Indiana?
Distant cousin.
Distant cousin? Wow.
Yep. along with a couple others like Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's in there too.
Wow, you got all the royalty in there, man.
Yes, but you know how when you're at certain levels, everybody's doing their thing over here and you're doing your thing over there. So there is really no time to where we can actually come together and be like, hey, did you know that we're related? Da, 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 da. So it's one of those things. But it's good to know that, part of my family history from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is with our communities and all that happens, the further we are apart, sometimes the closer we are, and other times not so much. But moving on with the show, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our Bible. What is a show Bible? A show Bible is a document that outlines the characters, plots, settings, and themes of a television series. Writers pitch show Bibles to network executives and production companies in the hopes that it will produce a production agreement. Well, with the Clint Initiative podcast, we do streaming content, we do movies, we do music. So, for our productions, we have a Bible, and that Bible will be previewed here on the show.
With all that time, I started to drink my coffee just as the thing went off. Now, I'm going to pitch two films to you guys. We're going to have a sort of film fight, and we're going to use our rating system. We're going to say whether it sticks, whether it needs work, or whether we can forget about it. And in addition to our rating system, I'm going to go ahead and pitch these two ideas. We're going to discuss it. We're going to look at our previous winners, and then we're going to come up with a decision on who actually wins. Now, our previous, and the reason why I call it a Bible bracket is because, boom, I put everything in a bracket sort of system just for fun every week so that we have something visually that we can show for all the different projects that we certainly will be working on. But I find that using something like the Bible bracket also helps me with all the ideas that I have for us that we can do. It helps me to laser focus on certain ideas based on what wins the Bible bracket each week, along with our bracket jumpers, which are projects where we have all the materials and everything to make it happen. So why not just go ahead and produce it and put it out? And sometimes they're just my favorites. So our first this week is Social Skills, the musical.
Yeah.
Our society has changed, but not everyone is changing. Sometimes coming to terms with the social skills needed to survive in our society is a journey. So we will go on that journey in Social Skills, the musical. Okay, now the next one is Chosen History. You know, the first casualty in any discussion of history is the truth. And the more you try to hide the truth, especially about your history, the more likely it is to come out. Now, when that happens, which history will you choose? That's what Chosen History is all about. Even once the truth is out, history doesn't always win. Truth doesn't always win. And that's what Chosen History is all about. So, for the discussion part of it, what are you guys' thoughts? I'll let you take over for a minute here.
You know what? We gotta hype this up. Let's go with the musical.
So you're talking about Social Skills, the musical.
You got it. You got it. Let's give them something to work with.
Okay.
It's an open game for playfulness, comedy. It also shows our characteristics, our personality a little bit more. It helps you. I feel like this will help us really open up to each other and to our audience too, that are following us and liking what we do. And it'll help. I feel like this will also help grow our audience because, like I said, this could turn into like a little comedy, also / whatever we want to throw in there in the mix. So I'm rolling with that.
Wow. So just to put a finer point on it, what is your choice this week, Jamel?
Social Skills Musical.
Okay, Social Skills, the musical wins with Jamel right off the bat, and I sort of like that. So, Katie, I'm gonna go ahead and once my computer cooperates, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What are your thoughts on our two choices, Social Skills, the musical, or Chosen History? Let's discuss.
Well, the chosen history is like at first it piqued my interest, but then when Jay kind of explained the musical, I was like, well, I would like to maybe improve my social. This would actually be beneficial. So I think to break the ice, I think he kind of convinced me with that. I'm gonna go with the musical this time.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, Social Skills, the musical wins, and in
Hey,
addition,
okay.
Social Skills, the musical can also be a stage play because it's all about that first date. It's all about a man opening the door for a woman or a woman opening the door for a man. It's all about what do you do when the national anthem plays. It's all about
Mm.
so many different things that we can bring into that musical and sort of explore all the places that we can go with social skills,
No,
the
music.
musical. There's so many different places we can go with that. But where we're going to go right now is we're going to go into the past and we're going to look at all of the past winners of our Bible brackets. And here they are. Okay, so our winner this week, which everyone now knows, is Social Skills, the musical. Let's go. So, Social Skills, the musical wins this week. And that brings us to our next portion of the show, is where we showcased our co-hosts. We showcased Jamel, we showcased you, Katie, and we also, even though he's not here today, we published course, that is the wrong music. I'm going to have to update that here on the platform so that we have the right music.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Give it a more uppity. Like if you can find a nice.
No. We already have the music from when he did his takeover.
Yeah.
I just didn't update it here in the platform. So we already have the music from Robin Juliet, who is a Trinidad musician.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
So we already have that. It's just that I didn't update it here in the platform. So that's why it's great that we're moving into our own space.
And everyone stay tuned because Jamel's Jam is going to be coming up soon.
And Katie, we also have some stuff that you and I have been discussing. So we're going to work on that as well. So when we move into our own space, I will be working more on all of the music and every part of the music, and it's really going to be thrilling to work on that. Now, after we do our Bible bracket, and then we do our spotlight on our co-host, one thing that we like to do is we like to come up with, and as you can probably tell, I'm here we go. We like to have a moment
From the sketch show.
And we are determined to make those moments from the sketch show be compelling, be entertaining, and to be consistent.
It's definitely going to be entertaining.
And more than anything, we want them to be pre-recorded. So stay tuned, because coming soon, we're going to have Zoom Therapy Part 1. The therapist with the tattoo, which is a take on the girl with the dragon tattoo. That is the reason why I said tattoo instead of tattoos, because it's sort of a take. The title is a take on the girl with the dragon tattoo. Now, in addition to that, we want to get a little serious. So we're going to talk about blended families. I'm sure that everyone who has ever been part of one
That's yeah. All I'm gonna say is yeah.
I've already wrote the script for that, and I've already sent it to everyone. And I love for us to be able to do episodic drama and comedy, like the Zoom therapy, which is all about therapy having to continue during the pandemic, with people catching COVID, and it shakes up all your plans and everything had to change, even therapy. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk a little bit about what you guys can do to help us grow. And when I talk about our music, trust me, this will be updated. Don't cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Go ahead. Subscribe. Don't cost you nothing. Yeah, to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Come on. Come on. Subscribe. Don't cost you nothing. Yeah, to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Go ahead. Subscribe, don't cost you nothing. So hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, yeah. So hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, yeah. So just hit that like and subscribe.
Yay.
I am so looking forward to getting together with Dante and getting together with Elijah from Minnehaha Recording Studios. Both of them have agreed to work with me on the music for the show. And I'm looking, and also Jamel, actually, I have an instrument thanks to Jamel.
Oh.
So now I've been fiddling around with it.
And I might be able to help. I might be able to help out a little bit with the music as well.
And nothing has been
with some vocals involved.
Right. Nothing has been solidified yet, but everything is, like I said, headed in the right direction. And what can help us move in that direction even faster, especially once we get into our own space, is for people to be able to, if they, I said this back when we first recorded the show. I said that I believe that if we offer to people quality entertainment and material, that they would support us. And I still believe that. And we provide many ways for them to support us. What are the ways we provide for them to support us, Katie?
Well, everything is beneficial, everything that we do. And like you said before, films we're offering, even if experience is not there, we're offering to come in and be a part of what we're doing. And like you said, everything that we're doing right now is beneficial. So it's not that we're here for ourselves, we're here to expand it as one.
Absolutely. And what are the different ways that they can support us, Jamel?
You can support us through the Patreon initiative. You can also support us through the KOFI Initiative, and that's within KOFI. Also, the GoFundMe Initiative. And you can contact us at any time if you want to be a part of the show, or even if you have any questions about anything or you want us to talk about something, you can always contact us at TheClintPodcast@gmail.com. So please like, comment, and share to continue to help us grow.
Yeah, and I like to say that the Patreon initiative is something where even if you can't give right now, you can still join it so you can see the things that we will be offering only through the Patreon initiative.
And it's free.
And it's free to join and be a part of Patreon. KOFI, we already have others who have contributed to us through KOFI. And GoFundMe is all about our equity crowdfunding. Our GoFundMe is not about you give us money and then you get nothing in return. It's all about equity crowdfunding, so that if you actually give to any of our initiatives, our Patreon initiative, our KOFI initiative, and especially our GoFundMe initiative, it's all about you having equity in the show. And when we are successful, you will be successful as well.
And a good thing I like to say to that is, when you help put equity in the show, you reap what you sow.
Okay, perfect. And that's all about being a part of our founders in our inner circle. And our founders in our inner circle, and this is the last thing that I'm going to say on this, our founders in our inner circle are the people that contribute through Patreon, KOFI, or even the GoFundMe initiative. They become our founders in our inner circle, so that when we do a stage reading of Dateline, they will be first in line. When we have a listening party for our music, which is coming up soon now that we have our own space, they are the first on the guest list, guaranteed a seat. So if you want to be guaranteed a seat, you can become one of our founders and you can join our inner circle so that you can help us create more quality entertainment to add to the mix. There's so many options out there for entertainment. We want to make ours the best it can be so that we become one of the options that people will choose.
Again, that's going to help us also because we will be on Roku and Fire TV.
Well, it's funny you should mention that we will be on all those platforms, because I like showing this because I really like the way it came out. Right now we're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, but coming soon we will be on Roku and Fire TV. And with your help, that all will happen that all will just happen faster. And now, it's been a great show. Now, let's say you can't be involved on a Patreon level or KOFI or GoFundMe. You know what you can do? Things are moving in the right direction. None of that happens without you. So just subscribe, like, and comment. Share the show. Help us grow. And with that, I got to give myself stuff to cut up when I start editing, right?
So now comes the part of the show where we get to share our final words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the music.
Ooh.
So that then we can talk about our final words. I'm going to go to you first. Janelle, what are your final words to our audience?
Thank you everyone for watching. We love you. Always love your support. And subscribe. Please like, comment, and share. Continue to help us grow. Because without you, this is not possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And just for me, as one of my life lessons, as we all know, life is like a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. So even if it's baby steps, one little foot in front of the other, it's still moving. And that'll lead you in the right direction to what your goals are set for to help you get there. It might not happen right away, but at least you know you're moving forward to get there.
Okay, perfect. And Katie, what are your final words to our audience?
Well, for us, I want to say congratulations to us. Congratulations to you, especially Paul. It has been so much fun, and I have so much faith in what we're doing. And for us to make it to our first year anniversary, it's incredible how fast the time has went. And thank you to everybody who has been watching and supporting us. And going back to what Jay said, just the baby steps, even if you're just sharing and liking for now, this is going to help us move to where we actually need to be. So I appreciate everything for everybody who's watching. The Latin community, gracias por estar con nosotros, apoyarnos. Las cosas pequeñas son lo más importantes. The little things matter. So thank you so much for everything, and congratulations to us.
Okay, this is perfect. And what I want to say is I'm looking for it right now on my computer so that I can share it on the screen. But I just completed our very first magazine interview. And for me, after 15 weeks of doing the show, to actually be approached about doing a magazine interview, for me, that says it all. It says that we are moving in the right direction. And it says that things can only get better from here. And I'm uploading the screenshot right now. It's Voyage Magazine. And Voyage Magazine is out of California, but it's all about creatives and people who create in their journey of creating. And they do spotlight Minnesota, and this is Voyage Minnesota, and Voyage Minnesota has become a part of our journey because I finished the interview this week. And I'm just going to say my last words, not throwing shade, because my company, Cycle Forward Films, is still located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. But after years of working in Harrisburg with the community there, after years, never one magazine interview, was never offered the opportunity to go on television. I say that to say that after 15 weeks of live shows, and starting in the 20th of July of 2023, the first magazine interview, and I'm hoping the first of many, and I'm hoping it will be the first of many opportunities for us to talk about our journey and what we're doing on TV as well. So I'm putting that out there right now, that things for us are headed in the right direction. And especially once that magazine article comes out, it only gets better from there, because we may not want to head to Hollywood, and we may be located in the community here in Minneapolis, but it never hurts to have
Hollywood take a peek.
Manifest,
Yeah.
And next time on the Clint Initiative podcast. But what were you saying, Jamel?
I said manifest, manifest, manifest.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Like they said, a closed mouth never gets fed. So for us to be successful, we have to ask for what we want and put it out there in the universe.
You got it.
Coming up next on the Clint Initiative podcast, we're going to start talking more about those poolside conversations. We're going to be talking more about moving into our new office space. Hopefully, we'll be able to have a tour of our new office space. And then we will have a guest on the show that will hopefully be our new producer. So that when we move into that space, the way we do the show is fundamentally going to change. And because the way we do the show is going to change, it would help to have a producer and not me doing everything behind the scenes. So let's all throw out, as we end the show, let's go ahead and throw our best wishes to Clint to get well soon.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Get well soon, brother.
And this has been the Clint Initiative Podcast.
See you, everyone.
You guys
Buen dia.
have a great rest of your day, folks.